Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dubs for another segment of Dubs Nation. Don't forget to click the bell to subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, but most importantly, share the video and others like it. Every other day, we're seeing Facebook and Twitter and social media platforms taking people down, banning their page, shadow banning them so it doesn't look like they're banned, but they actually are blocked from other people seeing it. And now we see Facebook won't allow any kind of information in defense of Kyle Rittenhouse to be posted on Facebook whatsoever, because they're judge, jury, and executioner. They already know all the facts of the case. They went through the entire investigation themselves, and apparently they know that he's a mass murderer. So let's share the hell out of all these videos, not just mine, everybody's. Shove them down their throats. We got to beat these people. So what's been happening is everybody knows about the violence that's been taking place in the riots. And just a couple days ago, most of you know that a Trump supporter was shot and killed in Portland for no good reason at all, killed in cold blood. Well, apparently, authorities have finally caught up with this scumbag and put him down. According to the Daily Wire, authorities kill far-left extremist accused of murdering Trump supporter in Portland. The report says law enforcement officials reportedly killed 48-year-old Michael Forrest Raynell, an Antifa and Black Lives Matter extremist, on Thursday night when they closed in to arrest him for allegedly murdering a right-wing protester in Portland. Officials say that Raynell was killed during the encounter in Lacey, Washington, southwest of Seattle, when a federal fugitive task force moved in to apprehend him. The New York Times reported an arrest warrant had been issued by the Portland police earlier Thursday. Now, isn't it incredible how Portland and Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, has just become this safe haven and this mecca for these psychopath leftist extremists? It's like that is like the epicenter for liberal insanity. The Oregonian first reported that authorities were investigating Raynell for his alleged involvement last weekend in the shooting death of right-wing protester Aaron Danielson. The news came after Vice News teased out a clip on Thursday afternoon of an interview that they did with Raynell. He said, "Lots of lawyers suggest that I shouldn't even be saying anything, but I feel it's important that the world at least gets a little bit of what's really going on, because there's a lot of propaganda out there." Raynell said, I had a choice. I could have sat there and watched them kill a friend of mine of color, but I wasn't going to do that." Now, this is very telling. This guy believes in his heart of hearts that the propaganda is actually against him, and he was actually acting in defense of somebody else, and that the Trump supporter was actually going to kill a person of color, even though they didn't have weapons. They had pepper spray and paintballs. Well, that was confirmed, and the only time they used the pepper spray and paintballs is when Antifa and the left-wing mob were blocking their cars and surrounding their vehicles and not letting them pass. And unfortunately, the guy got shot and killed for his troubles. Raynell had been persistent presence at the demonstrations in Portland over the recent weeks, helping the protesters with security and suggesting on social media that the struggle was becoming a war. There'll be casualties. The Times added, on July 5th, during the protest, Mr. Raynell was charged with resisting arrest and possession of a loaded firearm, but the case was later dropped. So many of you may have heard, I'm sure, that this guy was actually arrested for possessing an illegal firearm in the past, and it was just dropped. The charges were dropped, okay, by the same people that are the anti-gun, the super strict gun law. You know, we need stricter gun laws. That's what's going to stop all the violence in this country. And they catch somebody breaking one of their strict gun laws, and they just let them go. This just proves to you that left-wing liberal ideology is a cancer. It had this guy believing his delusions, and we see it all across the country now, with prosecutors and district attorneys becoming complete political activists instead of being beholden to the law like they are supposed to be. Prosecutors refusing to bring charges upon looters and rioters caught red-handed in these criminal acts because they align with them politically. So somebody matches their political policy, they don't charge them. If they don't, crush them. Look at the district attorney in New York. She's vowed to take down Trump, the president of the United States. That's not her job. You don't go looking for a crime on people. But that's what the left has done. That's just another thing, another area that they have weaponized in society. They've already taken over the education. It's gone. And it's sad. And their newer thing is law enforcement, the upper echelon of law enforcement, district attorneys, top brass at FBI. They use them and weaponize them against their political opponents, as we've seen with the Russian bullshit and everything else. How many other times we have prosecutors like Kim Foxx in Chicago refusing to prosecute Jussie Smollett after he clearly and obviously faked in this whole attack, and it was confirmed to be a complete falsehood. Wouldn't bring charges against him. Why? If that were you or me, we'd be in cuffs for sure. This goes on to say, Reinl described himself as a 100% Antifa all the way, had a Black Power tattoo on his neck, and repeatedly expressed support for Black Lives Matter. Daily Caller editor-in-chief Jeffrey Ingersoll called out some of the questionable reporting that appeared in the New York Times report, writing on Twitter, "This is real and in print at the New York Times." The report goes out of its way to promote armed Antifa security as praiseworthy experts in de-escalation. In a story about an Antifa guy murdering someone and then dying in a shootout with police. Sounds like the New York Times to me. Our illustrious New York Times, how far they have fallen from grace. At nearly the same time as the New York Times report was published, President Trump tweeted out the far-left extremists, writing, "Why aren't the Portland police arresting the cold-blooded killer of Aaron J. Danielson? Do your job and do it fast. Everybody knows who the stug is. No wonder Portland is going to hell." It's been to hell. This is a newsflash, Trump. So this has become a daily occurrence. Violence, attacks on people just because of their political beliefs. And it's not even adults anymore. It's children. Check this out.
Punched and scratched. A 12-year-old boy tells Denver 7 he was attacked by a woman in Boulder for showing his support for President Trump while out riding his bike.
Reporter Addie Guajardo spoke with a boy who says he's disappointed in people right now.
Cars and bikes zipped down Folsom Street in Boulder. And on Monday, a 12-year-old boy went for a spin.
I was riding my bike with my Trump sign.
A yard sign reading Trump, hence, keep America great.
I didn't want any conflict, anything. I just wanted to show what I believe in.
The boy asked that we not use his name or show his face. He tells Denver 7 people looked and laughed.
Sometimes I would put it between my arms just to have it there.
But a woman driving a gray-blue moped took it a step further. He says she made a U-turn and came after him.
And then she kept looking at me. Then she turned to me and then she said, "Hey, you want to see something?" And then she just started hitting me.
He used the sign to defend himself and tried to get away.
She hit me in the head, the back of the head. She hit me in my arms.
This isn't the first time he's been attacked for his political views.
I was just shocked about what happened.
But says it's the first time by an adult.
I'm feeling disappointed. I'm disappointed of the people right now. I mean, they're willing to attack anybody just because of their political views.
Boulder police say the assault happened off Folsom Street and Glenwood Drive just before 2 p.m. The suspect is described as a white woman in her late 20s to mid-30s with blondish brown hair just past her shoulders. She was last seen wearing a tan jacket with a blue shirt and blue jeans. The boy's father wants to pursue criminal charges.
I want to keep doing it, but it's right now, since she did that, it's really dangerous for me.
A danger, despite his freedom of speech rights.
I'll respect her opinion, but she has to respect mine.
Addie Guajardo, Denver 7.
This is how you know we're in trouble, when a 12-year-old is the voice of reason. And he's smart too. He's not showing his face because he knows he'll get it even worse if he did show his face. And that's real. So here we are day after day, incident after incident of violence and destruction being normalized, being justified. Because it's for a just cause, according to these people. And now it's created monsters. It's created psychopaths. And it has to be stopped. We'll get into what else is being normalized and why in my next segment, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to share, subscribe, all that good stuff.